My name is Sister Katherine Frazier. I was born in Fort Wayne, Indiana, back in 1985. My dad has a family farm in northern Indiana, so I grew up raising rabbits and showing pigs and all of that fun stuff. I first thought about becoming a sister when I was quite young, but I kept on putting it off and putting it off. And one of the reasons was that I hadn't met the right group of women. I first came across Dominicans generally online. I had never met a Dominican sister before. And when I met the Dominicans, there was something about their way of life that really spoke to who I was already as a person. One of the things that I really appreciated about Dominicans was what summed up in one of our mottos, Contemplata tradere, the aspect of how our contemplation is always our starting point and how that is always given forth into others through what we do, through the fruits of our ministry, through the fruits of our lives. And that is so much of how I feel God is asking me to be in the world, to remember to start with that place of prayer. For over 4 years now, I have been involved in the vocation ministry for the Adrian Dominican Sisters. And I was hired as the Executive Director of Dominican Youth Movement USA. So my Dominican Youth Movement USA is an organization that focuses on transformational programs for young people. We have programs for everyone from middle school students through high school and college and Dominican young adults, which is part of an international program under the Master of the Order. So there's a lot of international connections, which is really fun, and I love the fact that my ministry is really all about creating connections in the Dominican family all around the country and throughout the world. I really love sharing the Dominican Charism and ensuring that our young people know why being a Dominican has so much meaning for me. And I really want them to see the benefits of what this Dominican tradition has for their lives, those values of truth, those values of, as we said all the time, veritas and caritas. And that has so much relevance to our world where we're always looking to find those examples of truth and love. What better values can we come up with our young people for today? I know when we look at the example of our stories, there's so many stories about what our sisters did. There's so many stories, and they're amazing stories about sisters who are going off into other countries and doing ministry there. There are so many stories of sisters who are like, well, we've been asked to start a school here, and they do what is necessary to start a school in a new location. I feel like the sisters have given me so much of an example of courage. And it's the example of taking risks when things were uncertain, of trusting God, of the courage to risk starting a school. And especially now being involved in nonprofit work, you need to take risks and you need to have a fair bit of courage. And I draw on the example of my sisters every single day in order to have the courage to do the ministry I'm currently doing. But one thing I do know will be part of the future is that I really believe we're called to deeper relationships with our Dominican family around the world. And I see the future as being broader than we may have dreamed in the past. I see us as forming those connections which we've seen glimmers of before. I hope that my legacy is that people will remember how I was able to enter into relationship with them. I hope that by sharing the Dominican Charism with our young people, that they will have a better understanding of how to have a relationship with God in their lives. And I hope that by helping spreading the Dominican Charism in all these places that I'm currently working with, and where I'm sure I will continue to work with in the years to come, that we will ensure that a new generation has the opportunity to share in those values of prayer, study, community, and service.
Today, in the fullness of our humanity, we are invited to believe in the fullness of the love of God, to rejoice with all the earth, to announce that our God walks beside us into an unfolding future shaped by love.